the walleye run is here, and we want to make sure everybody is prepared to hit the water and catch the big one.
That is right. That's why we sent Joe Galli out to Maumme Tackle to see exactly what we'll need to do just that. Joe Galli, good morning to you. I see you're all dressed up.
Oh, you know what? You got to have the right equipment when you're going to go out and you're going to wade in the water. So I got my nice waders right here that they hooked me up with at Maumme Tackle, because this is just part of what you're going to need when you go ahead and head out to the river if you want to participate in the world-famous walleye run right on the mighty Maumme. And I'm here with Gary. You own Maumme Tackle. You guys must be real busy. There's a lot of people coming in because they got to get a license first, right?
Yes, they have to get a license. Need a license starting March 1st.
So they're coming in, and you're getting people. I heard that you get people from all over to come and do this, right?
Sure, we have people flying from California. We have the same guys that drive from Alaska every year. We had a couple guys from the Ukraine this year too. But they come from all over the United States for this run.
So now you're saying that I talked to you a little earlier, and the fishing might be a little bit slow today. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it slowed down yesterday. I really couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's the first batch of walleyes that come in or sort of spawned out. But typically we get 4 or 5 runs of walleyes. It would help if we get some rain and get the river up a couple feet. Typically when we have a push of water, headed into the lake, we get another run of fish.
Now when I'm driving over the bridge and I'm seeing all the guys and they're lined up, right, it looks almost elbow to elbow when they're in the water. Is there a certain amount of like fishing etiquette that you really need to know when you're out there with these guys?
Yeah, you have to watch what your fellow anglers next to you are doing and try not to cross their lines. And don't be too helpful with netting your neighbor's fish. You don't want to be knocking them off the line and stuff. Pretty much just watch where you're casting, wait for your turn.
You don't want to hook anybody's hat. You really don't want to do that.
No, I'm sure that happens, but yeah, just need to be a little careful.
All right, well, you know what? Be careful out there, but you know what? I got my waders on, but you know what? It's really important if you guys want to go ahead and know what you need to go ahead and cast into that water. We're going to go over the baits that they're biting on when we come back here at Maumme Tackle in just a little bit.
Okay, Joe, really quick. I need to upgrade my pole. John and I have this bet going on. I've got to step up my game. Do they have any pink fishing poles?
Hold on, hold that thought right there. Hold on. It's kind of more difficult to walk in these waders. Oh, here we go. There we go, Sean.
Oh, very nice.
Just for you, the Shakespeare.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
1897, embarrassing young boys whose fathers rushed out and got the wrong reel.
Fantastic. We're having a good time. And Joe Galli's going to keep it going. He's out live at Maumme Tackle, getting ready for the walleye run. Tell us, what are you going to show off now, Joe?
Well, you know, you got to go ahead and make sure you got the right tackle on the end of your line if you want to catch the most walleye during this walleye run. And Gary, tell me about, there's a certain amount of tradition that you're going to have with this, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So show me what people should be using.
Okay, what we have here is a Carolina rigged floater. This is a floating jig head with a 3-inch twister tail. This has been the rig for probably the last 15 years. Most guys will use about a 36-inch leader. Of course, it's just a little bit shorter just for our demo. And we have a barrel swivel for a stopper, your weight to get it down to the bottom, a bead to protect your knot. And this has been a true proven method. And then what we have new too is this wedding ring lure. This comes with a 48-inch leader, 10-pound test. This is the hottest lure out west for walleyes. We thought we'd try them here. We had a few guys field test them a couple weeks ago. Ended up working really great. So we just got a big stock of these in. Our first batch flew out the door in 4 days. I just got another batch in. This should be really a hot lure coming up.
So you were telling me a little earlier that, you know, it's not so much the rod and reel that you carry, but the feel of it when you go ahead and fishing, right?
Yeah, 90% of it is developing the feel for the bite. Because a lot of times pre-spawn, the bite is real light, and it'll feel just like your lure's bouncing on the rocks. You sort of have to watch your rod tip, you know, it'll be bouncing, and then one time it doesn't bounce back, you know, set the hook. Other times when you get a bite, you know it for sure, but the bite can be very light. So, you know, developing the feel for the bite is crucial.
And the last thing you had here, we got this nice net. Tell me a little bit about this net that you're going to need when you go ahead and bag that big one.
I mean, we do get some big walleyes here. We have had a couple walleyes over 13 pounds this year. This is one of our favorite nets. It's rubber coated, so your hooks aren't going to get caught in the material. It's got a nice flat bottom, so you don't have to reach real deep into the net. It's actually a trout net, but works great, you know, for down here in the river.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming by. You know what, if you want to go ahead and hit the river this week for the rest of the walleye run all the way through this month, go ahead, come on, stop on by Maumme Tackle. They'll get you all set up with everything that you're going to need and everything that you need to know to go ahead and bag that big walleye to have up for dinner.
All right,
All right,
oh,
China,
have it for dinner.
Back
I'm
to
hungry.
you.
Do they have live bait, worms, little critters?
Of course they do.
Things
They
like
got
that?
the whole setup, everything that you're going to need, and then all the advice that they can give you. They'll make sure that you will have the best setup, that you go ahead and hit the river and with a little bit of luck, catch your limit of walleye.
Hey,
Okay, what?
Joe, wait, I have to ask
go.
one more question here. You talked about the fishing licenses earlier. Is there a kids rate? Because I want to take my kids fishing, but I don't necessarily want to spend $20 on them each.
That's an excellent question. Gary, our anchor wants to go ahead and take his kids fishing. Now, what are the requirements to going out and fishing with your kids as far as the licensing goes?
Yeah, you don't need a license until you turn 16 years of age, so no problem.
you,
And
lucked
there
out
are
there.
good places to fish from the bank too. I would definitely bring your kids out for white bass fishing. You know, not a lot of skill required. They're an aggressive fish and hit a lot of different lures. A good way to get your kids hooked on fishing.
So when do the white bass hit?
Generally speaking, the white bass are showing up real good the third week in April. It's going to be a little bit early this year because of the warm weather, so I'll look for maybe the second week in April for a good white bass run.
All right, well, second, third week in April, we'll be looking forward to Michael maybe taking a couple days off to having his kids go out and catch some white bass.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Well, I mean-
you're not leaving me stranded here.
Darn right I am. Thank you, Joe.
You already have